One of the most powerful ways in which you can open up a conversation with a woman is to be playful. This is something that a lot of guys shy away from because they don't know how far to go. But being playful and using the context in which you're meeting this particular woman is such an easy way to break that ice, to get you guys both smiling, and to bring down people's normal social barriers, the walls that people naturally put up just walking around town with strangers that they meet. And so I got a great example of this that I want to share with you, but I want to first talk about why being playful is such a successful tool to getting women to open up to you. The first thing that you have to understand is that when we laugh, we automatically feel closer to that person. You're sharing an emotion together, and it's a positive one at that. So the more quickly you can get to that, the better. Now, of course, when it comes to a woman, flirting is going to be flirting. Playful flirting combines the romance and the humor together, so that it's not only just laughing for the hell of for laughing's sake, but you're laughing and adding in the romantic part of it. Because if you're simply cracking jokes, that can definitely work. You can get people laughing and smiling and people just associate you with feeling good. That can work. But if you're with a woman, you want to be inserting romantic undertones, because otherwise you can end up friend zoning yourself. You can end up making things very platonic and prevent yourself from advancing further, right? Because there is a difference between just being a funny character, a funny guy who can get her to laugh, and then being a guy who can do that, but also make her feel aroused or attraction or romance in some sort of way. So using context is a very, very easy thing to do if you have trouble coming up with things to say. Just recently, I was walking along the beach, and there's this beautiful girl, tiniest little bikini you can imagine. She was trying to snap her camera, trying to take selfies of herself, and just failing miserably. The phone kept falling. She's trying to do these cute, sexy poses. Phone was falling. She's trying to set it up against her little sandal. The water was coming in. She's getting all drenched. It was just a mess, and I just couldn't help but watch as I was approaching and be pretty amused by this. So she saw me looking at her. I was smiling with sort of a shit-eating grin on my face, and I said to her, "Hey, you look like you're really good at that." Obviously, I was joking, and because of the smile on my face, the tone in which I said it, she started laughing as well. So again, I haven't even finished walking to her. I haven't got to her yet, but already there is a tone of playfulness, of teasing, all that kind of good stuff going on. So then that made that conversation very easy to open the door to talking further. And that's exactly what I did. Kind of sat down there with her, was chatting about the stuff. And this is where, me personally, you can inject things like, because she was showing me what she was trying to do on her phone with these photos. And when she showed them to me, I was able to then escalate that romantically, be like, that's you? Wow. Not bad. Not too bad. I like what I see. Okay, so it's not pedestalizing. Not saying, oh my God, you're just absolutely gorgeous. Wow. Like, what a babe. Like, oh my gosh, like you were so pretty. None of that gay stuff. Just being like, okay, not bad. I like what I see there. And using a little more implication, implying these things, being a little bit more, less forthright and saying, oh my God, you're just absolutely gorgeous. I gotta get your number. You're just playful. You're playfully looking along. You're teasing as you look at it, all that kind of stuff. And of course, this led then to exchanging information very easily right then and there. So you can see how you're opening it up with that smile. You're chit-chatting back and forth. I continued teasing in a sort of a sexual, romantic way. Then, boom, you just slide right along into getting those contact information, and you're off to the races. So this is how you can use your environment. You have to be able to think quick on your feet. Now, again, I was walking on the beach. I saw her doing that, and boom, just immediately responded and reacted to that. And this is why it's powerful not to think too much about this stuff. Just kind of go with the flow. She could have been not interested, and I would have just kept walking down the beach. That's fine too. Now, and this doesn't happen obviously on the beach, but anywhere you go, you can do things like that just make that first interaction and it angles it towards humor and romance. That's really an important part that a lot of guys do oftentimes overlook. And especially, when I think about this particular channel, The Sophisticated Scoundrel, my approach, my style, what I teach men is to always be playful and charming. That's just the way I tend to do things. And so that can come with a look, a smile, the tone of your voice, the things that you say, your body language. All of these different things matter when you become sort of a playful scoundrel type character. Now, I'm not saying be like me or emulate me or copy me. Adjust this to the type of man that you are, but take those principles and use them accordingly. It'll soften things up from the beginning a lot easier, and it'll make it easier to segue into getting information or just going on a date then and there. But again, just remember that escalation and the romance part of it is essential. Okay, don't get stuck in the friend zone, platonic land of keeping things very cordial. This kind of stuff, to a certain extent, it does involve risk. It's risking your ego. It's risking a reaction, maybe, of what they say. If you're flirting, some people aren't going to like it, but it's very rare. And even if they don't, you just move on, you walk away, you move, you're on to the next one. You're not thinking about it. But this will involve calibration. Now, this is obviously something that I work with the guys that I coach very specifically, giving them much more detailed examples. I walk through their interactions that they have, guide them, things like that. So if this sounds like something that you would love to add to your repertoire, how do I become more playful? How do I learn how to flirt more, become a scoundrel? Click that link down below. And what this is for a one-on-one consult with me, a free consult call with me, where I can learn about where you're getting stuck, what's been your troubles, what's been holding you back. And if it seems like a good fit for us to work together, then I'll walk you through how my coaching program works to get you set up from A to Z and start you going right away. So if that sounds like something for you, then click that link below and book a time that works best. Okay, guys, that'll do it for this video. I will see you in the next one.